Today's price action served as a nice spook for the long bias traders. The charts may be able to warn us of any other potential pullbacks. If one happens, I personally suspect it to be a natural thing since breaking the $8 mark is critical. Let's review those charts now. Welcome back to the channel. This is ARCa. Let's dive into ticker symbol FNGR. Let's kill them, team. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. Let's go ahead and dive in straight to that ticker symbol, FNGR. Well, welcome back, right? We're doing a little bit of a curious stream here tonight as I am going to just perform that analysis here for you live. And I think that I deserve it to the team, right? You know, you guys deserve it, right? We're trying our best. We're trying to make our moves here. We're trying to make the best out of this play. So what is up, chat? Let me know that you can hear me. In fact, throw those A's in the chat right now because I'm not getting any response from you. Let me get those A's in the chat if you can hear your boys speak right now. So let me say, actually, if you are ahead of me, let me just go ahead and say hello to the team right now. What is good, Daryl? Ian Tucker, what's up? Welby, Mark Roach, always good to see you here. Lockup, what is up, my dude? Rosie Gray Glasses, Joel, what is up? What is up, guys? Zephram, how's it going, man? My moderator's up in here, man. What's up, Critic? Good to see you here. Abel, Phil, what's up? What's up? And Gunner, man, oh man, oh man. All right, you guys. So yes. I have a lot to talk about, right? I hated that we saw that pullback, but sometimes we need them, right? Sometimes we wanna observe price, and we want to see if we can get any potential opportunities for a long, right? So if we can get along here, I mean, I'm talking about finding that opportunity to allow others that haven't gotten the chance to get long this ticker, right? So, Critic, yeah, we're fast forwarding to RSI, right? So what I mean by that is that there are people that are still kind of pensive about entering this play or not, considering its overextension, considering that it's gone up from literally $1 all the way up to almost $8 faced over the last 2 days. So, you know, that's what's up, Jennifer? Good to see you here. The Foz man, good to see you here. It's gonna be a tough decision, but this type of price action will allow that to happen. And if that does happen, you have limit orders all the way as far down as you can imagine. I mean, it's gonna play against everybody here if we do trigger those limits to the upside. So what we're gonna do here in this stream is try to identify any potential drawback or drawdown to use to our advantage. And you can see here on this time frame that I have the 12 out. Well, let me just kind of get rid of some drawings here, right? I want to make it as clear as possible. So let me pull up my layers here and kind of put a mute here on a lot of this noise, right? So, and also the Gaussian channel. Let me get that out of the way. Okay, so what we're looking at here, let me get rid of this now. And this. Oh, Jennifer, what? Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. That's really nice of you. Thank you so much for coming by. You're so amazing. That's I can't ask for a better crowd, man. Thank you so much. So here it goes, team. I have the 12-hour time frame up right now because it's at a support. So, but this support, I can't trust it all the way, right? So I'm going to open up the RSI so I can show you something, okay? So I assume that we have a lot of our technical traders in here, right? So you guys know that I'm a quantitative trader, systematic. I'm data driven, right? So it's just, that's the way I trade. That's the way I found my deepest edge. And yeah, so let's take a look at this. First of all, yes, we are at a support right now. What you're looking at here is the pink line. This is the SMA 14. That blue line represents an RSI signal. In other words, this is price here, right? And this is your moving average. Usually we use that SMA 14 as support. Like you see here, we broke out of it, right? And we came back and validated that support. We used something called the gravitational zone and we bounced onwards and we're kind of hovering around it. And now we're using this this support bottom. Keith, what is up, my dude? Thanks so much for coming by. Really appreciate you, my brother. We're going to be going over this FNGR play, man, and see if we can get any potentials here for for the other stragglers, the straggling longs, right? We're going to try to get them into play, if that's so what's called for here. Okay, so right, so that's now you know the properties of the very basics of the RSI. Okay, so before I continue, I know that I usually talk about these things all the time, and usually, you guys just kind of you guys just accept what I say without actually knowing what I mean, right? So I'm gonna take this time. This is why I reserved an hour, so that I can really dive into the details here, so that everyone knows absolutely what I'm speaking of when I say, well, we're in the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile or the bull strength percentile. I want you to know what that means. Okay, so I'm gonna do it here for the FNGR community and for this play, right? And it's gonna help a lot. So gravitational zones, right? Let's do this. 2% up or down from any border that you have within this within the ticker. I'm sorry, the ticker, the indicator, right? So let's go ahead and copy it to the top side, just like this, right? We'll copy it to the bottom side. Every single one has a gravitational zone. Okay, I just want you to know how this goes so that you know what I mean. And after this, you're gonna be a pro. I'm really joking about that, but it's gonna allow you to to kind of meet me at my lingo, right? And it's not just mine. This really does mean for it's universal. It's really everyone, right? So yeah, let's dive into this detail, okay? The gravitational zones here, right? Particularly this. Whenever we're coming downward and we're faced in this gravitational zone of the RSI, price action usually tends to get pulled to the downside. If we're coming up and we're meeting this gravitational zone here, we usually get pulled up. Right? So this one would be down and this one would be up right here. And every single zone has that. If you are to identify what zone is what, then this is how you do it, okay? Let's go ahead and just get another box here. And this is just how it's going to start before I continue on the analysis, okay? This is just the preliminary part of it. All right? So this top area of your RSI, we're just going to color it, but we'll leave it that color. That's fine. That's your bullish control zone, okay? And your bearish control zone is located down here. All right, so that you can see that I'm not just speaking random stuff. I want you to know exactly what I mean, so that whenever you are watching my videos or observing the live trades, you know what I mean. Okay, this is your bullish control zone. This is your bearish control zone. Now, the inner workings of the RSI, right? This particular area here, I'm going to color it. You know what? I'm just going to do it down here first because it's already naturally red. So this is your bear weakness percentile, right? This is your bear weakness here. And this down here, of course, you can guess. This would be your bear strength. That is exactly the same on the top side, right? So right up here would be, I'm going to color them different. This is your bull weakness, and this is your bull strength percentile, okay? So this is how I teach my master students. This is how we go over indicators, okay? So now that we know that, it's just important for it to kind of stay within our grasp here, within our language, because otherwise we won't know where the play is going to go. So yeah, you have a complete bullish control zone, bearish control zone. You have your weakness percentile in the insides, and you have your strength percentiles in the outsides, okay? Aside from that, you have your gravitational zones that you should pay attention to. Notice, I want you to know that it doesn't 100% of the time launch you to the upside or to the downside. We have to use other metrics, other strategies, other ways to observe price in order for us to determine that possibility. The reason why I'm mentioning this right now is because we're getting close right now. The RSI signal, otherwise being price, us right here, facing this downside here, it looks like we're inching closer to the gravitational zone. We don't have presently any risk, right? We're not at risk of getting down to this area just yet. But let's go ahead and start observing all of the time frames in order for us to determine where we could potentially be, right? So let's put this, let me put this on automatic here and make sure that we can see the current price action versus the indicators as well. Okay, so let's start off like we always do, right, in these videos, or actually even live. Let's start off with the immediate short term. This is going to be the 30-minute time frame to tell us what is happening, like underneath a microscope, right? We want to observe price action in even the micro time frames. So you can see here that on the 5-minute time frame, this is this straight to the right type thing happening here. That's just consolidation for the immediate short term. know that we're getting a bias to the downside on stochastic momentum, so that's okay, it's fine. 10-minute time frame is giving us that downside too with consolidation as well. So the likelihood of us coming back down to somewhere like 744 to around 738 already becomes apparent just because of this very fact. Okay, now the 15-minute time frame is clearly showing us that we have a downside, right? Remember, the SMA 14 represented by the pink line. The RSI is already, that RSI signal is bouncing from the gravitational zone and the SMA 14 as resistance and headed down towards the next gravitation, right? So that'll show us that we can have more downside to go. The stochastic momentum is also in that gravitational zone. Think of stochastic momentum just like you would RSI. This is actually a lot simpler though. It only has just the bullish control zone and the bearish control zone. And you can also pair just the MACD signal over the moving average, right? And we're getting our first red bar. So that's suggesting an immediate short-term time frame downside. And immediate, I really do mean that. A 15-minute time frame could last the better part of about what? Like, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes, right around there. It wouldn't be that long, right? So let's continue on the analysis though and see how much we have. We want to know how much pressure to the downside we have. So now immediately, I'm looking at this resistance faced from the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile right up here. We face that resistance alongside the resistance from the SMA 14 with a downside pivot. That means now that I want to find a time frame that has the SMA 14 below us. I want to find where the SMA 14 is under the RSI signal to find where that support touch can be. So now we can fast forward all the way, the hourly, the 4-hour, all the way to the 12-hour where we noticed that we're at that support, right? So that's how I led up to the 12-hour time frame. That's how I showed the first time frame here as the beginning chart so that you can understand why I led up to the 12-hour as the first chart that I'm showing you here. So what I'm saying here is that there's a lot of preparation that I do mentally before I show you the videos that I put out, right? So I have to identify, by law, I have to identify these areas here. And it usually takes me maybe around 15 to 30 minutes to really evaluate the entire chart and then put it out to you. But I don't script it. I don't pre-plan this. I just put out the chart that has the most relevant information for me to kind of freestyle what I have to say for you, right? So that's where the magic is. I can't prepare it all that like perfectly. Otherwise my magic won't happen. The discretionary side to my systematic side must meet. I have to show discretion even when there's statistics available, right? So now we're looking at momentum. We could potentially be close to a bottom, but we can't always dismiss that. Now let's move on beyond the 12-hour time frame. Why I'm doing this is because the 12-hour time frame does show you the after hours trading. But if you go to the daily time frame, you are only showed traditional market hours. So the daily time frame will not show you what happened afterward, right? So as you can see here, we have a close of 774, right? So that 774 on the 12-hour time frame is not accurate. This is the after hours close at 755. Okay, so if you are observant of whatever I do, check. Is the mic still going, team? Please let me know that I lock up. Guys, let me know that I'm still being heard. So cryptic trader. So yeah, guys, let me know that am I breaking up right now? Okay, I can do, hold on just a sec. All right, I can do something else too though. The problem here as well is that I'm currently uploading ASRE and Viri up into the YouTube platform, right? So I just want to make sure that we can. Yeah, I'm looking over my bandwidth right now, and I want to see if it's cool. But it sounds okay. So Sebastian, I'm chopping a lot. Willie is still on. I'm getting. Damn it! I'm getting back in. Okay, let me do something. Hold on, team. I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Yeah, let me see if I can get it fixed up. Hold on. Just a sec. I'm gonna see if I can disable some things. And then I think remove the entire family's home now, so that also has to do with it. Let's see. Every second it chops. Going to have to explain the last 5 minutes over again. Yeah, no problem. It's all good. It may be the old AC unit. Oh my goodness. I can't let the girls freeze outside. I'm going to be turning off some devices right now. I want to see if I can get I want to see if I can just get some people to turn off their stuff right now so they can so I can favor Wi-Fi on my side. Yeah. Hold on, team. Hold on. Just a sec, guys. I'm going to turn off some devices. Okay, well, let's see if this makes a difference. I went over there and just I literally went over there to turn off all kinds of devices, man, and I see why. My in-laws just came in. My wife's brother just came in, so literally just a blast of everybody using the Wi-Fi right now. Does it sound better? All right, that's good. And also the fact that you know the upload for Viri and for ASRE, those are also taking a little bit of bandwidth. Yeah. No, not a problem. Not a problem. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys were absolutely cool. Okay, team. So let me just go ahead and adjust my seat here. Just a sec. Good deal. All right, let's continue on the analysis here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on, right? Like we were saying, right beyond. We're just going to move beyond the 12-hour time frame into the daily. So this is going to start telling us whether this pullback could be realistic and finding support right now or not. Right? So, and then here goes ASRE. That thing just published right now as well. So that's going to be even less bandwidth, and we're looking pretty good. Now we're back. Finally. All right, so daily time frame RSI and momentum. Let's see. Okay, so we're getting a slight downside pivot, and the RSI, the SMA 14 is way below us. So this, in fact, is just telling me that it's waiting for the short-term time frames to start kind of mitigating the decision here. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're observing momentum, don't look at these as individual time frame momentum indicators. Don't look at them as a bunch of RSIs. I want you to observe this as one time frame, meaning that the 30-minute, right, this is 30-minute here, this is 2 hours, this is 4 hours. You can see the time frames up here when I switch them, okay? This is 6 hours here, 12 hours, this is likely daily, 3-day, or bi-daily or 3-day, and then the 5-day. Okay, so the shorter time frames, depending on how strong their pivots are to the upside or to the downside, will cascade into the next time frame, pressuring that direction initially done from the earlier time frames. So what I'm saying here is, yes, the earlier time frames dictate what the larger time frames are eventually going to do. They cascade into each other, right? So now you can see that the downside here on the 30-minute came down and affected the bi-hourly, which the bi-hourly affected the 4-hour and its bearish crossover, which then made a bearish crossover on the 6-hour, and then from the 6, let's see the 8-hour, right? Okay, now the 8-hour is also facing a very similar support, just like the 12-hour is, right? So, my little guy over here, he's super mad that I'm inside. I may actually have to let the guy in here, right? But yeah, so now that's how it worked, right? It's just usually cascading time frames. I'm not doing this to make things up. I'm really trying to show you what the charts are saying to us, what we're doing together, because that's essentially what it is. If you're observing all of this price action, think of this in a psychological perspective. This is us. This is what we're feeling. This is a direct representation of our current psychology, and this being the day that we have faced today. So you can see here that we were full of fear. We got a little bit of a pullback upwards to around $5.11 from that $2.54 bottom. Of course, at this point, people are going to start thinking, you know what? I have an average of $7. I might as well just pull out whatever I can here and just before this thing falls anymore. So then everything starts to fall again. It creates a huge panic. And then you start to find this bottom side to where finally you're like, oh God, I'm finally at peace, and I can finally make this thing rally to the upside, right? Cool. That's all that I want you to look at as far as momentum. So when you're hearing somebody saying, ARCa, you're being a shill, there's no. You're paid by the shorts, and you're paid by the institutions. You are the short. You are a naked short, right? No, it's not that, team. It really is just momentum, right? We're just looking at whatever the RSI says, and this is free. This is public. You can pull up your own RSI and look at it for yourself. And you'll likely see what I'm seeing too over time of exposure, right? So let's go ahead and observe a couple other things here. So Sebastian, you hear that guy over there? He's super pissed. So what I'm looking at here, Sebastian, by the way, Sebastian is my apprentice, and he is an ARCa Bulls analyst, just like Cryptic Trader. He is an outstanding analyst. And also Zephram, right? So these guys really do show some good stuff for retail. Look at what Mark Roach does for us. He's always providing information. Guys, we're supported by an amazing team here, right? I absolutely love this. Ian Tucker always showing us stuff. Robert White always showing us good stuff, right? So anyway, you hear that guy? I'm sorry, guys. He's like super mad. I mean, guys, hold on. I'm gonna let him in. Hold on. No? My wife said no, don't let him in. Okay, so Sebastian Lim pointed this out today, and I noticed right away that this weekly time frame candle has 1 day and 17 hours to close. Now, what does that mean? It means that on Friday at market close, in my time particularly, I'm Pacific Standard Time, right? So market close at 1 p.m., we could potentially be closing a weekly time frame, 3 white soldiers. Hence the picture that we used for the live FNGR analysis for today, right? So this is why I put the 3 white soldiers. This is a very, very, very bullish candle formation, and it is used. It is used in every single time frame. You can use it in any time frame. I mean, 1 minute all the way to the monthly if you want, whatever it is, right? So let me go ahead and type this in real quick, and I'll show you what that is, right? So I just want to make sure that we're clear about these things all together, right? So I'm going to display my portrait screen. So sounds like our kids too. I bet, man. Northwest. Yeah, I hear it, man. I hear it. Hey, ARCa, how you been, bro? The markets are profitable. Diamond Music Production. Good to see you here. Thanks for coming back, man. Yeah, everything is looking really good. So this is yes, I mean, this is 3 white soldiers, like right here, right? We can observe that we have 3 very bullish candles printing before an upside, right? So I know that actually, you know what? I'll probably be able to just kind of zoom in as much as I can here. Whatever it is, it's all good. Stick Vicious, my bro. Dude. You guys are wild, man. Thank you so much, dude. That really means a great deal to me. Great pigeon, bro. I understand every word. my parrot. Right. So yeah, we have that three. I'm gonna come back to the right over here. Right. I know that it's kind of annoying here, but yeah, we get the 3 prints, right, and then we get that upside. So this is a natural. I mean, it's just a formation that everybody kind of uses, right? You can observe here in every single picture that it's representative of an upside incoming, right? So that's the power behind this formation. Now, guess what? The power behind the formation really isn't the formation, and also the fact that it also isn't psychology at the most part. I have to say that it comes to a close second. Psychology paired with which is the belief, right? So meaning that if you have the entire retail community believing that this is a viable formation and we are definitely going to set an upside, that psychology alone can send this, right? But if the psychology behind a trade does not believe in that, then it's probably not going to happen, right? But in this case, what backs the psychology is the time frame. The higher the time frame on any formation that you're looking at, triangles, pennants, descending channels, broadening wedges, cup and handle, whatever it is that you're looking at, the higher the time frame, the higher the validity, the higher the strike rate. So in this case, we have a weekly, remember, by Friday close, we potentially have a weekly 3 white soldiers, which can be a very nice indication that price action may continue on to that upside. By the way, Sebastian, my bro, thank you for your donation, dude. That means you're saying to match Stiga, LOL, and for more FNGR calls, my dude. I was actually just about to talk about the options contracts, right? So if you are long options contracts and you're not able to view my live stream, then here is a quick little warning to you, right? So please know that we have our quad witching coming up on Friday. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that every major contract is gonna face an expiry. I'm talking about ETF contracts, your traditional market, traditional market. Stick Vicious, dude. What, bro? Thank you so much, you guys. What the hell? I owe you guys now at this point, man. I don't know if I should start reversing payment here. This is crazy, you guys. Thank you very much, guys. I promise I'm trying to deliver as much as I can here, right? So I promise to keep on going, right? Yeah, seriously, man. What the heck? I didn't come on here for this, team. I really came on here to show you support, right? But thank you, guys. Really, I mean, seriously, that's insanity. But I can't even continue talking because it's so ridiculous, man. I love you guys. Thank you so much, man. But anyway, yes, team. So let's, of course, we have an eternity away to close this damn thing. It's just, it's all the way to Friday close. The quad witching is going to be your ETF options contracts, your traditional equities options contracts expiring. You have your futures contracts expiring. Everything's expiring on this quad witching on Friday. And this is let's see, the repetition of this or the frequency of this is only 3 days out of the year. And we're about to face one, right? So just make sure to, it's not financial advice whatsoever, but sometimes having minimal exposure to the markets is or any at all, right, would be the better option here. But I'm going to be fully transparent with you, and I think I am going to have exposure to October calls after I remove entirely my profits from my 6s, 7s, 10s, and 8s from the options contracts, because I'm up like 238% on FNGR. But I'm going to go ahead and just take that out and then get the exposure for the Octobers and let those run, right? But I want you to know that there is an inherent risk by doing that, okay? So I don't want you to follow me in this because I very well may see my account drop immediately, right? And I don't want that to be your case. I just want you to know that it's a risk. And all these options contracts, we don't know what's going to happen. No one has a crystal ball, but we can do our best to observe price and observe the current situation. Now, I want to pull up the next thing here, which is going to be the ARQ. It's one of the algos that we just released in the ARQ series indicators, right? So we're going to pull up trend line, and this is a momentum-based trend indicator. These lines here are drawn by the algorithm itself. Now, why am I saying that it's momentum too? Well, it's because it's using a MACD within the algorithm to display what the color of the strength is within the price action, right? So you can see all the way down here, it's red because it's oversold. As we start moving up, it turns orange because we're getting close to the mean. It gets into yellow, which is the mean. Then it starts turning green because it's getting into it's making a bullish crossover, and we're continuing on to the overbought percentile. Now, the next thing that's really cool about this indicator is that it tells you also when there's a pivot coming in. So this will print hopefully as a look forward, and it'll give you a warning. Hey, there's a pullback coming in, and then you do whatever you have to do. So this is what we're observing here. The reason why I'm mentioning this indicator right now is not because of the damn shill, but yeah, of course it is, right? But it's because of the color shift that we're experiencing right now. It's very similar to what was happening back here, right? So we have that red into orange, orange into yellow, yellow into green. And look at that. Red into orange, orange into yellow, yellow into green. And we're not only that, it's the most important thing that we're looking at here is that we're breaking out of this macro scale triangle. Okay, so this is that triangle that we're breaking out of right now. So if there is a pullback to be faced, let it be. It's fine, right? Because at this point, we're just going to allow more bulls to get into the price action, and it's going to allow this thing to really thrust hard. Let alone what Daniel Borders is saying. That guy is super sure about this, right? So if we are to face a pullback in the weekly time frame, of course, it's going to show you the most bearish targets here, one of them being 722 and the other one being around 673, which I'm not even sure that we can reach in the first place. It's just so much buying pressure on this. But yeah, it looks like 722 is in the cards. Let's keep an eye on that, right? But if that is the case, trust me when I say your boy ARCa is going to load the freaking boat. Let's go, right? So Samantha H, it's very good to see you here. Daniel Gonzalez, good to see you here as well. And what's up, Dylan? Good to see you. Thank you for coming by. Right. So yeah, this is what we're doing, team. Right now, trend line. Just for my ARQ holders, if you are a holder or a subscriber to the indicator package, please copy this. Okay, just take a screenshot of this and make sure to reflect these metrics onto your indicator. The way you do that is you go up here on the top left, click on that little gear icon, click on inputs, and this is what I did. Okay, so I'm just I have a very particular set of indicators here. I'm sorry, of metrics and look back periods, because I believe that these are the best for this for equities, right? Because you can use this in cryptocurrencies, you can use this in anything really. All right, so if you got that screenshot, good deal. Thank you so much. What ARCa? So yeah, that's the ARQ trend line. It's part of the. So go into the indicators, go into invite scripts only if you're a subscriber, and click on trend line. So you do have it. Daniel, you do have it. And then those metrics that I just had there, just make sure to input them. All right, so that is it for trend line here, and let's go ahead and observe the bi-weekly Gaussian channel. This is another sign, team. This is another sign that we're currently making an upside break. Notice how this candle here, this was our previous bi-weekly candle. Absolute, not a problem. Gotcha. Social watch only. What is up? So yeah, this bi-weekly candle that we closed just about 2 or 3 days ago was a break outside of the very top of this Gaussian channel. The reason it's so important, team, the reason this is so important, because the last time we closed any candle upside of the bi-weekly Gaussian channel was back here. Look at that. Look at the date on that. That's July 19th, 2021. So we're in September 2023, and finally have a candle that broke outside of it, and we have the first shot at clearing this in the outside of the Gaussian bands, right? So this is absolutely big. Lauren Wood, what's up, brother? Good to see you here. So yeah, this is 100% a big thing happening. So now let's talk about the statistics here, because the stats are actually meeting in line with some of our statistical indicators as well, and one of them being this is not part of the ARQ series. This is something that I've coded myself for just because I wanted to see if I can get an active indicator that changes the weekly support versus the daily versus the monthly supports and resistances live. So as the price action shifts day by day, all of these things shift with it. So I'm getting a very curious read here, though. The monthly resistance at $8.41 is coming in line with the statistical side. So the statistical side on that backtest, I'm going to explain to you now. So let's go ahead and observe this. So if you are a new viewer, if you're new to my channel, well, yeah, you know what? First of all, yeah, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good jazz, right? Hit that notification bell so that you are aware whenever I am live or posting content. Okay, so the statistics here are leading to something very, very curious. Okay, so if you are new, this is your chance to understand what I'm doing for historical volatility backtests. So anytime that volatility represented by this indicator BBWP, this is volatility in a linear form. Can't speak right now. Wow. So anytime that volatility has contracted within this level here, which is it can be considered critical. Right, so that's contraction. That means that very little shares are being traded. Remember, we're looking at this on the daily time frame, though. Okay, so every single candle printed is 1 day long. Okay, so anytime that volatility has contracted into that zone and then bounced from that zone with the moving average and the volatility component, those are those two. The white line is your moving average. The spectrum line is your volatility component. Anytime that has happened, I have paired it with stochastic momentum with an upside pivot. And from those, I'm going to pull up just one entire iteration here so I can kind of show you what that context is or what the entire criteria is. Okay. And every one of them do have a metric measured like this. So from here, I am waiting for volatility to expand, and I need it to expand beyond the 15% zone, being this green line. So at this point here, I would already see that the moving average is beyond the 15 percentile, so I will consider that an iteration, right? And we can see here that stochastic momentum does have an upside pivot, which is great. So that from the opening of this candle here to the very top side of the price action where we topped out at expansion. So if it goes into the opposing side's critical zone, that's exactly when I will stop the metric. So because that happened, it took us 13 days from the expansion point, from the critical point from contraction to expansion. That's when I stopped it, right when we reached the peak level. So from there, it took us 13 days and 42.31% to the upside on that metric. Okay, so I've done that throughout the entire trading history of the FNGR asset on the daily time frame. Okay, so This is called your sample set in statistics, right? Now, what you do is that you start measuring you start adding them all up, right? So you can create your bell curve or your distribution set. This is your data set here now. So counting all of these iterations, we have a total of 20 iterations, of which 17 to date have been guessed correctly to the upside. All right, so that gives us an 85% upside accuracy. Now, counting the percentages, right? This is 10.48% on this iteration. This one's 14.80. This is, all of them. We add them all up and divide them by the correct iteration. So when we do that, we get a mean. And that mean, aka your average upside thrust, came out to 33.40%. Now, from this, I'm not going to explain how I created the standard deviation because that is just it's just kind of a long deal, right? So from the mean, I created the standard deviation. The standard deviation would land in the 68% of the results from your bell curve. Okay, so that area being your standard performers, that gave us a 35.12%, right? So now I also calculated from the mean and from the standard deviation the upper bound and lower bound of the first standard deviation being down here and over here, right? So I want to know what the distribution is, and I want to know what the probabilities are for us reaching these targets. So what I'm interested here is, of course, the upper bound of the first standard deviation up here that's leading up to a 68.52% to the upside. Let's go ahead and start looking at that. Let's observe the 68.52% upside thrust. That is leading to a target of $8.88. Okay, now if we go back to that indicator that I just showed you that I created, it's giving me an average resistance of $8.41. How curious is that, right? We're already reaching that potential there. Now, another thing is that I believe there's several ways where I can show you that the relevance of that $8 target. I mean, in so many ways, right? So let's see if we can catch another way. Okay, here's one. Look at this. The 2.618 golden mean, right? So we're looking at here the Fibonacci retracement tool. And why are we using the Fibonacci? Well, because the Fibonacci ratios are something that life itself revolves around. If I have to give you something to watch whenever you have time, search on YouTube the relevance of the 618 ratio. And when you pull that up, it's not going to be trading. It's going to show you the relevance of that being in the entire existence. I'm talking about like from a snail, right? A snail has that little swirl on the shell, which the swirl matches the Milky Way galaxy and any type of galaxy in that shape, right? I think even the Sombrero galaxy has that. The Andromeda has that. It's literally the meaning of life. Yeah, Rosy Gray Glasses is saying it. So just observe that. So it's very curious that the 882 target and statistics are very close to each other. So know that the trade likes to take things to the 618 targets. So yeah, this is immediately in my radar. We have statistics giving us that potential 882. We have the geometrics giving us that potential 880. So yeah, of course I have to say it out loud. There's no way I'm not going to say that, right? So now let me take a look at some other things over here that may or may not be relevant to yeah, I think this is it here. So let me go back to the 4-hour time frame. Let me hide the indicators. I think it's actually the bi-hourly, but it's cool. It doesn't matter. So we've been writing this ascending channel, right? So, and I think I may be able to adjust. Whatever, it's okay. I'm going to leave it just like this. Okay, so this also has a metric for us to observe. The way that you take your price objective from an ascending channel or a descending channel is taking a trend line from the top side of the channel to the bottom side of the channel. This is the bi-hourly time frame. This is gonna move pretty fast. Okay, so then from here, we start to maybe guess where that potential breakout could be. Let's just say that we break out tomorrow, intraday, right? Let's just say that were the case. Well, this is leading to a target of $9.20. Why is $9.20 important? Well, because it's 40 cents away from the statistical target. And if we go back to those statistics, we can see that we have that 880 here, right? We have the 882 at the 2.618. And now going back to my indicator, substance, 40 cents away, 841. So this is how I'm creating, this is how I gain those probabilities. I start to gather confluent targets. I start to see where the moon and the stars and everything start to align, right? So that's how I create what I create. And as long as momentum is suggesting that upside, then I will likely call it, right? So meaning that we have RSI, right? If we have these RSIs suggesting an upside continuation like the 5-day is, and actually, by the way, let's just look at that right now, because now that you know the properties of the RSI from the beginning of this video, I'm going to ask the chat right now, where is the RSI signal sitting within the RSI properties? Please let me know in the chat if you remember your RSI properties, where is that sitting right now? Let me know in the chat if you can identify where the RSI signal is sitting relative to the RSI structure. Thank you, Mark Roach. Yes, please make sure to hit that like button, team. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today for this FNGR special, right? So I think it's definitely needed here, because we wanna make sure that we have that edge. Daniel Gonzalez, absolutely right. Ian Tucker, yeah, you're right. Except you're missing just that one thing. We are in the bull strength percentile, and we are definitely inside of the gravitational zone. That's right. That's right. That's literally where we are. Right? So, Nappy Noel, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. So remember, 2% up, 60. Look at it, 68.54%. Right? We're within the 2% of the border. Then we have the other 2% to the upside, gravitational zone. We are well within it. Dave, how you doing, my brother? I'm doing well, man. Thank you so much for asking. Just want to make sure that we have retail in line for this FNGR play in the coming days, right? Cryptic Trader saying, let's see. Te me los voy a chingar, control zone, vaca percentile. That's right, my bro. That is right. We are in the gravitational zone here of the bull strength percentile, with a massive and very, very convincing upside pivot. So what happens in the gravitational zone stays way outside of the gravitational zone. We get pulled up, right? So in this case, yeah, we're looking very bullish. I think everything is looking very good. Whether we're going to have some short-term pullbacks, that's fine. But what you're being given here is the upper time frame suggesting a continuation to the upside. So with this macro time frame is telling you, yeah, you're going to have ebb and flow along the 30-minute, the 2-hour, maybe one more day, whatever. But my overall feeling, this is what FNGR is saying to us. My overall bias is bullish, meaning that we're still on an upside trend as long as all of the other time frames kind of do whatever they have to do and then continue that upside. Right? So ya valieron madre. Right. I get you. So Lauren Wood, we just need that $3.8 million order to go through and it's over. Oh my God. What do you mean? Is there really a $3.8 million dollar order on the books right now? Did you notice it on the tape? That is massive. I mean, that's huge. I was in a doctor's appointment today. So remember, I'm not oh, right. I saw somebody post a picture. That's what that was. 469,000 shares. Oh my goodness. Okay, at 770. At 770. Okay, let's look at the price action. Let's see where we are. We're currently at, well, I mean, yeah, let me look at the shorter time frames too in relation to this, right? Let me see what I can do here. 755. Wait. They have a buy order? We're sitting at 755. It was hanging into 770 to 773 near the end of day. Oh, you posted. Oh, that's what that. Yeah, that's where I saw it. Cryptic. Thank you. I was just in the doctor's appointment with my son for hours, right? It really distracted me there. I needed to be there with him. So it moved from 740 to 770. Daniel's gang is not joking around. Yeah, I totally hear it. That should, yeah, that would send us way up. That's an enormous target. I mean, enormous buy. But they're above the ask though. I'm above the bid. I mean, whatever. I mean, what is that? Why 770 when we're at 7? Or they may. Wait a second. Yeah, I assume that's going to be revised. Samantha H, thank you. He's at an 11.8 hemoglobin level, and they want him between 11 and 14. So me and Mom are very, very happy. Thank you for asking. Daniel Gonzalez, or is it a fake out? No. That's what we've been seeing every single day at the after hours activity. Right in the after hours, there's this huge freaking bid. Like, I mean, massive ones. Let's see. JD saying, wait till Univest is on board. Many calls will be in the money Friday. Come next week, we rip to triple digits at least. Oh my God. You guys already know how I feel about the triple digits. I see them; they're supported geometrically, but I want to just get over the first targets first, right? So, team, just make sure to just make sure to manage your risk, okay? Just I can't. You know, you don't want to give back anything to the markets from which you've gained, right? So. No, yeah. That's what we're gonna observe right now. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at the opportunity to get long this asset. So let's find that little bit of a pullback, because that's we're already seeing that first. Yeah, let's get into the double digits first. We're super close to there. So yeah, if you guys, well, let's all keep in mind, or let's all keep it in our books, right? That we may actually see a shift in that huge 500,000 share order, right? So it may actually shift into a lower valuation since we are at that 755. He may have already done it, right? It's just that we can't see it because the traditional market hours are closed. But that doesn't mean his limit hasn't already changed, or their limit, whoever that is. I know that it could be Daniel Borders, right? But know for a fact that there is rumor going around that it's not only the big board, it's not only Daniel Borders and his billionaires, there are more. We are absolutely talking about paper trading here. That's right. So let's go over the short term as the last part of the analysis here, right? So we're going to go ahead and try to identify what that pullback can be and where we can allow bulls to enter. Yeah, I think so too. I think they're revising it as well. What's up, Gunner? JD. So yeah, let's get that done. Moving averages first. Let's pull them up. Okay, so on the bi-hourly time frame, we're already getting resistance from the SMA 10. The SMA 10 referring to a 10-day simple moving average. So what the moving average does is that it takes the last 10 days of in a closing basis, meaning that we have to wait for one daily candle to close, right, for it to take that metric, then the next daily candle to close for it to take the next metric, and then the next daily to take that metric. And then it averages all of that dispersion over the 10 days to display to you what that line looks like, okay? So that's how we're observing the averages, or the mathematics based around moving averages, okay? So that's why they're so important. In this case, the bi-hourly time frame is using the SMA 10 as a resistance. And SMA 10, EMA for exponential moving averages, the EMA 9 and 7 are very common moving averages to use within some, actually for, any time frame really. I use the EMA 21 in conjunction with the EMA 9, the SMA 10, and the EMA 7, okay? So this is why I have the EMA 21 down here, and it's looking like it would be suggesting a bottom side of around 740. We already spoke about that 740 from the bi-monthly Gaussian channel. We said, yeah, we could actually face a pullback here to around 740. Sorry, that was the trend line indicator chart. This one right over, where is it? I think it may have been right here, actually right next. Yeah, this one here. I think that was actually 722 or 7 something, right? Yeah, this one was a 722. But yeah, and now let's go back to the Gaussian channel, actually. Let's see. 615 was too low. My goodness, 696 is another inflection point. But remember, these are bi-weekly, team. Don't pay too much attention to that. 720 at the top side of this candle here. And here we go. These two candles right here are about 738. Let's see the closing. Yeah. So right up here, you can see the OHLC, the open high low close. Look at the closing value of this candle here, 738. So yeah, 740 is very relevant. So if we're suggesting that that 740, we're not only backed here by whatever we just saw. Take a look at the 3-spot 618. The 618 yet again. The famous 618, 741. Guys, I added this a long time ago. Right? So I'm just putting it out there. So yeah, Andrew, that's good. So now, absolutely, we can't just say that the 740 is the bottom side. Of course, we have to take into consideration the bottom side of our channel, right? So if we are going to take that into consideration, particularly from tomorrow's price action, then this being the very bottom side where my mouse is currently sitting, what target is that? 738. Why does that sound so familiar, team? Well, that's right, because of that candle that we just saw in that next chart, right? Where is it? I think I can use this one. Or, yeah, this one right here. Right here. 738, right at the close of this. OHLC up here, 738. And the opening of this one, check it out, right here at the opening, 738. So all of that is actually very confluent to the channel that we're currently riding. That's why I'm saying that there is a potential support to come in tomorrow. Very immediate short-term time frame. Look at the bottom side of this wick here. So when I hover over it, look at L for low. 738. Incredible. What about this one here? Look at the L on the top left, OHLC. 738 again. Right? So we have a lot of things rhyming within that. Do I really? Nice. Wow. Those are all the donos happening. Look at that. Thank you, guys. But yeah. Oh, yeah. I got to get it out, right? Sorry, guys. Thank you for that. So the 3-spot 618 at 741 right over here. That's what I mean. And then if we bring it back down just ever so slightly, sure, you know, we have these candles sitting right at that 738. 738, you can see them on the OHLC. So yeah, I think donuts for donuts. That's what Daniel Borders told me on that. What was it? 2 days ago, he said, "I bet you donuts," or I forgot what it was. That $10 will be easy by Friday. Jeez. It's really interesting to talk like that, man, because that shows absolute power, right? Or, I mean, I mean, that's cool. It's very cool to talk like that. I'm just pointing it out. It's cool. Dollars to donuts. There we go. Is that a saying or something or what? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Now on the weekly time frame, I want to bring up just one more thing. Let's see if we can get the moving app. Maybe no. Actually, no. Let me see the 5-day time frame, even into the 8-hour. Actually. Okay. Here we go. Let's see the 8-hour time frame. Okay. So the EMA 7 on the 8-hour suggesting around 7:30. Yeah, but particularly this one here. That's your SMA 10, sorry, the EMA 9 at 7:51 on the 4-hour. And the one that I tell you that I use, the EMA 21, right at 7:40. Yeah, so I think let's just see how often it's used on the bi-hourly. Well, what do you know? Look at that. I'm just going to go ahead and move every single moving average out of the way so that we can observe just the EMA 21. This is your EMA 21. Look at how much we have used it as support. All of this, and then right here again, it looks like we're about to use it again, right at that 740. I would have to say, team, that tomorrow in the immediate short term, we're going to face a bottom side of around 730 to 738 before us facing an upside. If I can give you any lower targets, then let's observe. But I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I'm just saying that we have to keep in mind, or keep an open mind here, that there is that probability, right? So first of all, 738 to 740, very small area, right? So beyond this point, we have another very obvious area here that we can use as support, right? So that would be 705 to 713, just in case we go all the way back down. Actually, you know what? That would be the third one. This is the second one here. Sorry, we have 3 actually. Wow. This right here. It almost slipped by. Yeah, I would say, the bottom line would be 722 to 729. I don't think we can reach this one down here. But yeah, I believe that these two have high relevance, and meaning that it could be a wick to recover the inside of the EMA 21, just like these. just like that. We face a wick to the downside, recover, continue on. So that's what I'm looking at, team. I feel that this is a pretty good play. I think that everything is looking pretty good. So yeah, I would just remember we're talking about paper trading here, right? So make sure to hit that description link below with the TradingView software, right? So that would help out my future very much so if you did click on that. But yeah, I think just keep an eye on this. I'm going to be streaming at about 6:40 a.m. tomorrow, Pacific time, that is, right? So if you are curious over how the price action is going to be happening, over what we're observing here actually from price itself, then yeah, come by, and we'll be going over this. We'll be going over GTII, VERI, COSM. We're going to be going over ASRE. We've been looking at a lot of tickers, okay, team? So yeah, remember that tomorrow is potentially the $10 target that Daniel Borders was talking about, right? So he posted Lauren, he posted this thing on Twitter saying that yeah, you know, nice little short play right here with your, like, he was joking around with 100,000 shares. He's like, now load up because this thing is just gonna rip, right? I forgot what he said. So yeah, team, I think we may actually have a $10 target tomorrow. So why don't we do this real quick, right? So let's go ahead and start something here that we can all be involved with. It'll take 1 second. So let's do, will FNGR hit 10 tomorrow? So go ahead and cast your vote. Let's go ahead and see what the sentiment is over just the next few minutes, so that we can understand ourselves whether we're on point or not. There's enough in here for a statistical test. All right, good deal. And please do not favor anything that anyone is saying. The important thing here is that you answer absolutely honestly, right? So if you think that it will, say yes. But if you don't think so, then, you know, maybe don't say that. Candace, how you doing? ARCa, in my paper trading account, I have a $6 call. Should I be selling it tomorrow since it expires Friday? I will, full transparency, I will be getting rid of all of my contracts, and I will be including my 6s, my 7s, my 8s, my 10s, and I will be loading partial risk at the, you know, come Friday. Hopefully we can get a good pullback somewhere on Friday or Thursday. And at that pullback, I'm going to load my October 20th, and you know, potentially $8 and maybe the $10, and then we'll ride them into next week, right? But I don't want to leave too much exposure because of the quad witching. But yes, I'm going to be getting rid of my 6s and the 7s and I think 8s and 10s. So far the voting is looking pretty good. Please make sure, guys, to cast your vote. And I think this is a pretty good way for us to see what that potential is for tomorrow. So WV, how you doing, my brother? Do you think that when FNGR hits $10, GTII will break 3? You know what? To tell you the truth, GTII is on this like perilous path, man. This is it's a tough one what it's facing here, and I'm very impressed over its price action. So statistically speaking, I am more looking at the 139 to about 148 zone as a mean to test, and I think the relevance between 95 cents and that $1.50 mark would be the space between $8 and $10 in FNGR, right? So, but that is only technical. I can't ever predict the potential of psychology here, right? I don't know what's going to happen once everybody just feels like, oh my God, it's leaving me behind. I'm just going to, dive in right now. I don't have control over that. But what I am talking about here is a potential 54% gain from the 95.78 where we are right now, which is huge. Yeah, Andy, he actually told me that. I asked him the question on the space call. I said, what do you think? And he goes, I bet you dollars to donuts, $10 comes on Friday, easy. So I think this was a live space. I think it was 2 days ago. When was it? Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? So Aaron saying $10 tomorrow, then rip to 70. Let's a 7x play. Let's go. All right. So you know what? While we still have the chat open, if you guys want to hear my speculation behind those upper targets, then here's one. But remember that I'm a short-term trader. I don't usually like to talk about these topside targets, but now that you know that where my bias is, right, I'm favoring the $8.80 to about $9 mark right now, for now, right, because I want to get that out of the way. Because if we jump the statistical target to $8.80, that may as well just, wick up to $10. So what you're observing here is the monthly time frame for FNGR. This is its entire life, right? Starting from down here where the channel's starting at around 19 cents at IPO, right? This was in 2015. So in this case, if we are to take into consideration a couple things, because this is, first of all, this is indicating that we are going to set ourselves for a huge breakout. And I have to say that this breakout is starting to look more like the truth. And why? Because an ascending channel like this requires 3 tests of the resistance before failing it for sure and then capitulating to 0, right? So in this case, you can see here, 1, 2, 3. Yes, we got that huge capitulation just like the way it should, right? But it recovered and it came back down to test number 4. When you test number 4 on an ascending channel, that usually is a sign of invalidation from its bear thesis. Okay, so that number 4 also tried to capitulate and get way below price here. It didn't succeed. It then again pumped again, right? So, and then now we're actually just creating this huge bullish action here. And the way that you take the target, the way that you get the price target for this channel, you remember, right? You take into consideration the top trend line, right? The resistance level all the way down to your support, and this will be your target, right? So then you apply it to the supposed area of breakout. So let's not do that just yet. Please notice this formation here. This is a descending broadening wedge, right? So we have test number 1, test number 2, test number 3, and guess what? True breakout, test number 4. So test number 4 on descending formations would be your true breakout. Test number 4 and 5. If you start testing your test number 6, 7, 8, that's invalidation. You don't want to trade that. Well, unless you're short biased, then yeah, right? But in this case, we broke out on test number 4, came back for a whole month and validated the newly converted resistance into support, and now we're bouncing to the upside as per the play is suggested to be played in the trading book rules, right? The take profit for this formation is right up here at $12.83. Okay, so actually in this case, let me highlight it, $12.83 right here. Right, so now $12.83 matches very well with the 2 fib, $12.80, and the one spot 272 at 11.26. So we have a range now, 11.26 to $12.83. Now that you know that, that's cool. I want to show you the weekly time frame. Now look at this. This is something that in my strategy, this is mine, right? I created this thing, so you're not going to hear it anywhere else other than here because if you don't hear it anywhere else, that's because they didn't create it, right? So it's just, this is my strategy. What you're looking at here is also not the inverse head and shoulders. That's not what I created. Of course I didn't. Right? So what you're looking at here is an inverse head and shoulders, right? So what that creates now is a bullish buy formation breakout. Why that? Because of the descending broadening wedge into the inverse head and shoulders with a breakout. So now we have 2 upside targets. How do you do that? Well, let's take a trend line, right, from the top side or the neckline, right, which could be, well, I'm going to draw it for you so that you know. The neckline could be right about here. Just like this, right? This is the neckline from your inverse head and shoulders. Then you apply this to the breakout, to the top side of your shoulder here. And that is taking us to a target of $31.47. And let me just shine some light over that target. Take a look at right over here. 3.618 at $33.16. Yet again, The meaning of life, the golden mean itself. So you know I have to mention it. I have to. I'm not saying that we're going there, but I am telling you that it is backed geometrically and psychologically, because this formation, as well as this one, are not backed by mathematics. They are based solely on psychological targets, okay? So, biformation, bullish biformation breakout with two targets to observe. First one being 1283, the second one being your 3-spot 618 at 3316, but with a focus at 3147. Now, let's talk about the channel. Let's go to the monthly time frame again, since that's where we measured it. And now pair that with an upside break, since we have invalidation for the bear thesis. So what are we going to call this? Sure, this is a bullish tri-formation breakout. If that entire breakout happens, we have 15 days in 6 hours to close this monthly iteration. Let's just assume that we would be breaking out of the channel from this point here on the same candle, right? This is where those targets that I don't really like to talk about are coming in. Okay, but psychologically, in formation theory, it's being backed. But backed not only by that, it's backed by geometrics at guess where? 3-spot 618. Don't even let me say that damn target out loud, man. That's ridiculous, right? So I'm not focusing on this, right? I'm not focusing on these targets. I'm just showing you how it's possible and how it's geometrically backed, right? So William said that it was actually, he felt that it was too low. I'm like, dude, no, no. We have to, go through. Let's just get there. Let's just get there first, right? I'm gonna remind you guys right now that $8.80 is what I'm looking at first, right? And that'll mark off a pretty much a freaking what, a 600% move from the very bottom side, right? So just so you can understand what this actually means in percentages, look at this, okay? From the current price action at 776, right? Let's take it up there, right? It's not always that things happen like this, but that is a 7,100% increase. Like that's awesome. Yes, of course, team. I would love for that to happen. VWaggy had that happen all the way to $1,100, right? Because of the issue between them and Porsche, and I think 2011 or 2007, I think one of those. And yeah, price action, they messed up, right? And it rocket shipped to $1,100. But other than that and HKD, I don't, yeah, there's going to be the one-offs out there, but what were they? Were they into, like, no one knew about them? So I'm just, yeah, Daryl, it's very much like VWaggy, right? Except that, so I mean, geometrically speaking, it's backed. But of course, I'm just speculating here, and I know a lot of people like it when I speculate. A lot of people like me to see what those topside targets can be, right? But I mean, if that's going to be the case, then I guess, then maybe, right? So let me do this, right? So let me take this into consideration here. So what we're basically saying is that this is essentially what would happen here, right? You would be looking at this type of price action. I mean, I love it. I mean, guys, I want that to happen. I do. I really want it to happen. It's just that, it's for me to say that it's absolutely realistic, I'd be lying to you. But apparently there are a lot of short shares and stuff. I can't find any. I don't know how that's being accounted for because I'm a short-term trader. I'm not a data analyst for this, right? I'm a data analyst for numbers, right? So in this case, I guess if there are enough short shares to validate this, then you now know my targets, and you can say that, damn, well, ARCa didn't support that upside target based on psychological metrics, then we know the actual share count here as far as the short shares, and that looks like that would be the potential there, right? So now you know that I guess I can validate it some way, but I can't statistically prove it. And the targets that I'm going to call out are usually the ones that are that are close, that are at a closer proximity to the current price action. All right, team. So yeah, just keep that in mind, right? Know that I'm very hesitant of talking about those targets. The targets that I was talking about with Daniel Borders is I think he said Univest wanted to take this to $30 to $50, and he felt that 50 was too high. But I mean, and what is that? Why is he saying 30 to 50 bucks? Look at this: 3 spot 618, 33.16. 4 spot 618, 59. Like, he's not doing this. He's not measuring this. I am, though. And whatever the targets that he was talking about here absolutely led to all of those to those geometric targets. Again, I'm not validating that. I'm not validating it. I'm just saying that I can see that geometrically it's possible. Yeah. So, I mean, first of all, the breakout from the inverse head and shoulders is leading to the 3 spot 618 in a shorter time frame. That would be $33.16 with the focus of $31.47, right? Now, if we were to take into consideration the topside target for this 1283 being the descending broadening wedge, well, that also has confluence to the 1 spot 618 at 1022, right? It's a huge resistance. We're already talking about breaking into $10, and $10 is the 1 spot 618. So, I mean, we're already talking about $10 on Friday. $10.22 is the 1618, right? 1283 is the 2 fib. Now, the inverse head and shoulders is the 3 spot 618 at 33.16. And then taking this trend line from this macro ascending channel, right? This is how you measure it. You measure it from the top side of the channel to the bottom side of the channel, and you apply it to your supposed area of breakout, right? You apply it here. But I'm just saying that because we have 15 days to close here, let's just say that we did break out within this monthly candle, then that's where you would be taken to these crazy targets. And it just so happens that this, the ascending channel target is confluent with the 3 spot 618 again at 5, at that target. So I can't just say that it's going there. I can't, team. I really can't. I need to statistically back it. And right now my statistical backing is 880, just about $9, which means that $10 is absolutely possible with a wick. So, and the $10 is what? The golden mean, 1 spot 618. Lauren, don't put words in my mouth, man. So yeah, I mean this type of thing can be introduced with psychology. It's just a buying event, and who knows how many halts we're gonna face on that upside, man. You guys remember that ticker? Which one was it? Daniel Gonzalez. You remember that ticker that you were looking at from $5 to $80, the one that we just faced last week or 2 days ago? Which one was that? What ticker was that? I know you guys know which one we're talking about. It went up to $80 just a few days ago, or maybe last week. I forgot when it was. Right, I know that $78. Are you seeing a $78? I mean, I can get it from anywhere really. If you take a fib from this range here, from the current range, from the previous, from 2 months ago, we'll likely end up at that $78 target. And that's actually something that William was talking about. He saw a $70 target. So Samantha, what you're seeing is actually something that William is seeing too. That one. Lauren Wood, ADTX was the one that ran all the way freaking to $80 from like what, $4? That's what I was referring to. That's insane. So Aaron is saying, I'm just saying, but if Lind Capital is short 170 million shares, they do not survive keeping the margin on that naked short position at $30 or $50 a share. Yes, that is true. That is true. And that's also assuming that they're not playing this long. So meaning that if they are hedging against their short, then they could, in technical terms, they can meet margin requirement. But if they do meet margin requirement, that doesn't mean that they're pressing it to the downside. That just means that they're losing cash because they have to spend it on margin requirement. So their hedge is actually just going to be negative. So they're losing money on all the way up. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why you would even be short this asset at this point anymore. It's just like it doesn't play. It doesn't play out. All the short sellers are actually piling in at every single point. They're all getting stopped. You know, it's just this is today, team. Whatever happened, and from 795 or 97 to the 7 whatever drop that we got, that was not the biggest short attack that you think. That's a psychological level, because a lot of people are taking profits at that point, and because the short sellers know that there's going to be profit taking, they're going to short there too. So they're going to scalp, to try to hedge against their positions. They're going to try to somehow hedge short for a longer time frame versus a shorter time frame. It's all desperate. It feels like a disparity. It's just like it's like a desperate attempt to try to scalp like little gains here and there. That it's paired with a natural take profit zone at $8. That's all it is. And I said it in my video, the 23-minute long video or whatever. I said, guys, as soon as we hit that $8 mark, it's going to be a pullback, and then we'll see. And that's just what happens, guys. I'm not even worried. It's chilling. I think it's okay. Citadel has a no, they don't. Please don't say that. Are you serious? They're going to be what do we know their cost base is? That's ridiculous. Why would any guys don't okay, if I can tell you the honest truth, yeah, sure. I guess I can play puts on this too, but I will play puts when I'm freaking 500% up. And I'm 200% up right now. So, if I'm going to play puts where I don't care about my premium and I'm just going to lose it, screw it. Right? I'll spend $500 on some puts and let them go out of the money. I'll lose them, but I'll have myself protected, whatever. And they're puts, and I'm longing the puts. That means I'm helping the company going long. So, right? Yeah, NVOS is beautiful. Yes, it is. Can you teach us newbies about charting? What's up, buddy? How are you? Thanks for coming by. I was told that you had some questions for me earlier, right? And I missed you. I left your stream. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you. I didn't mean for you to get caught with with a mouthful of questions. I had a doctor's appointment with my son today. Is that you, William? Is that you? Well, all right, you guys. Oh my goodness, man. No, man. That's a guys. If anyone is thinking about shorting this, that's a suicide attempt. Try not to. Try not to. There are safer places to short, and trust me when I say I'm a short and long bias trader. I would not short this asset. You don't want to short anything. Anything that's approaching price discovery, meaning that it's going to combat its all-time high of $17. You don't want to short anything there. Right? Let it chill. Let it chill first. You're his mod. Gotcha. Earlier William was asking me a question. Somebody said, "Hey, bro, like you pieced out right when William had a question for you." And I'm like, "Oh man, I had a doctor's appointment with my son. I felt so bad. He was asking me the questions the moment I left. If you're his mod, please let him know that I did not mean to just leave him behind, right? So, okay, so you're a troll account, but he said it's okay. Got it. Thank you. So Cryptic Trader is actually a mod for William too. No. Cryptic is, dude, no. All right, guys. So I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. Now you know the targets, okay? You know the targets. Wait for I think, what was it, 740 pullback, right? Let's get that in line real quick. Yeah, here are the pullback targets. Just know the play. EMA 21, high probability here, 738 to 740. Highly confluent with a lot of candles on even the weekly. Okay, then we have your Kit. How you doing, brother? Good to see you here. It's a circle wagon moment on Jeff and Lindy. Yes, it is. When? Who cares? Hams. Yes. I have to say, man, he actually called this a long time ago, right? Very, very good stuff. So, at this point, Kittredge, if you haven't been in the stream, these are my pullback points for you, brother. So I'm looking at in very immediate short term. I don't think that this can last for too long. 738 to 740 has a very high probability, EMA 21 support, right? And then the secondary zone where I think could be the last one, I don't even know that we could reach it, but it'd be cool. 722 to 729, and then this very unlikely, but has to be mentioned because you never know with these crazy wicks to the downside, right? Look at these parabolic wicks, right? So we have to point that out as well. So there is a potential of a downside to 705 to 713, but know that I personally will get super, super long from there. All right, you guys. I'm trying to be as transparent as I can be, and I'm also trying to be as concise, right? But thank you so much for everybody coming by. Let's go ahead and end the poll now. So you have 5 seconds to end the poll. So go ahead and hit that vote right now before it's too late. So I'm going to count down 5, 4, 3, 2. Wait. What is it actually going to be? What is it actually going to be? What is that going to be for us? Here we go. And let's end it. All right. So 59% 59% is saying that we will close at $10 come Friday, tomorrow. So how can we tell when it's just a pullback or it's over in a run-up ARCa? Wow, that's on a run-up on a squeeze? See, that's a very conditional question. First of all, if you want to know if the likelihood of a pullback can come in, then observe your momentum indicators. Okay, so let's pull one up, and then we'll just do that as the final thing here, right? So I guess that's a good question for everyone to know, because that's literally what I'm going to be focused on, right? So if you're observing your momentum indicators here reach parabolic highs, this is the weekly time frame. Do this, okay? Check this out. This is a little trick to the trade. All right, pull up your RSI and see if we're already in the overbought percentile up here. Look back, zoom out, and see what was the highest time that we've ever gotten. So it looks like this was the one right here at around 81.70%, okay? So that means that you mark it off just like this. I mean, actually, in my personal opinion, I would put it at the third highest, right? Because this is too close. 81 to 81.70, I don't want that. So I would say around 79%, I would put a notification for myself like this. I would put an alert on the RSI to let me know when FNGR reaches 80% or 79% RSI. So at that point, I'm like, oh my goodness, we're getting really close to that overbought percentile where historically things have just rejected, right? So at that point, I would start to brace. Okay, so meaning that I would, in my personal opinion, I would start removing risk. I would start removing a 30% position at this point here. When we reach this top side of 81, I'll remove another 30% position there. And then if we start going historically higher and higher, well, that's at full discretion. It's going to be at your leisure, right? Yeah, so yeah, I'm speaking about during a squeeze. This may actually just surpass it. And remember that these indicators are delayed and they're very much averaged. So they can technically keep overbuying forever. Right, but that's where historical price action would come into play, right? So I mean, look at this here. 12-hour time frame has an iteration here of 97.87%. So naturally, you want to put yourself in alert at around that 93 or 92 cent zone, so that when and if your RSI reaches that area there, you want to observe the price action and see, okay, well, there's likely a pullback coming in because we've done it once before. Right, and if you have consistent iterations around that same target, you can bet that it's going to be a pretty good pullback. Who slipped ARCa the Adderall? He's the Energizer Bunny. He keeps going and going and going, like a college student, right? Yeah, that Lauren. Look at that question. I'm sorry. Look at the answer right there that Lauren just said. I'm sorry, but that's got to be the most accurate answer that anyone can ever give. He has kids, 100%. And you know that my boy's going to be going down tonight by around 1:30 a.m. because his schedule's a little messed up. It's all good. It's all good. Right. So yeah, I still have some hours here. I definitely have to get to, dinner time for the little guy, and then everything will be good. But I'm happy that you did ask that. Thank you, Candace. So is it true they can't short us tomorrow? The way that you're going to be able to know is that on your montage or your trading platform, if FNGR follows these letters, it is not going to be shortable. If it says SSR for short sale restriction, it will not be shorted. But if it doesn't have that, then all we have to rely on is Fintel and Ortex to tell us that the supply, that we're already maxed out. There's nothing to borrow. But somehow magically, there is because of crap. So it's not SSR right now. Okay, so then we have to rely on utilization being at max, and then also your cost to borrow fees and cost to borrow max being at huge numbers, which they won't care. But it's going to cost them a lot, right? Kittredge and Daniel Gonzalez, yes. Oh, wait. Daniel Gonzalez is saying that it's SSR right now. Are you serious? Are you looking at that in DAS Trader? On DAS, it says HTB. It means we can't short it. Cryptic, can you check your DAS and make sure that also says the same thing? I want to know if it's consistent between two different brokers. So, Daniel Gonzalez, you're using interactive brokers, right? And Cryptic Trader saying Finger is shortable tomorrow and SSR doesn't matter. You can still short. No way. That sucks. Yeah, so I know the SL, that's what I'm talking about. I was talking about the utilization being at max and you can't short it. So, but magically there's always a way to short it, right? Especially if you're out of the country or something. I don't know. There's a bunch of loopholes. HTB, yeah, oh, that's right. Danny Gonzalez, HTB is hard to borrow. It means that it's just too much money. The interest rate on that is ridiculous. Sebastian Lim, dude, I seriously owe you money now, man. That's ridiculous. You want to do it again tomorrow? All right, it's what is it? Happy Friday tomorrow? Yeah, let's go ahead and plan one, and I'll mention it for sure. Sebastian, please remind me too, brother. For you, it's shortable. Okay. All right. Well, damn. Yeah, let's get an episode of Billions. Me too. All right, team. Yeah, let's go ahead and cut this now. I think we have a good understanding over what can happen tomorrow. So now you know the play. And you know what can be expected here, okay, team? But just remember, protect yourselves, okay? Protect yourself. All right, moderators, donos, thank you so much for all of your support. Everybody, thank you for coming by and supporting the channel and, interacting here with us. This is very nice. This is absolutely appreciated.